Hello and welcome to geometry. Today's topic is angle bisector. I was asked by one of the students to speak up, so I'm going to try to speak a little bit louder. An angle bisector. Let's say if ray BE bisects angle ABC, what does that mean? Well, an angle bisector is a little bit like the midpoint of a segment because it divides it into two equal parts. So if I'm going to draw angle ABC, A, B, C, BE is going to start at B and it's going to divide the angle into two equal parts. An angle bisector divides the angle into two equal parts. All right? Well, what does that mean, divides into two equal parts? What are the parts? Well, our original angle is ABC. This part is angle ABE, and the other angle down here, that angle is angle EBC, and those two angles are congruent. Remember what congruent means, the exact same, identical. They have the same measure. So if we want to talk about the measure of the angle, you remember we use little m for measure, and we're going to say the measure of the angle ABE. And now since we're using numbers, we're going to use an equal sign instead of geometric objects, is equal to angle EBC. So those are the two equal parts. Now I'm going to label them. This angle right here, that's ABE, is going to be congruent to this angle down here, EBC. Now, one way in geometry we mark things congruent is we put a little tick mark on them. So I can go like that and like that to indicate those two angles are congruent. All right, let's take a look at some problems doing this. FD bisects angle EFK. Well, how would we handle that? Well, we would draw an angle. I'm going to draw an acute angle. It doesn't matter what kind of angle I draw, but this is going to be angle EFK. And then ray FD is going to start at F and it's going to cut it into two equal parts. Okay, so now I'm going to give you some problems. So, what if the measure of angle EFK equaled 62 degrees? 62 degrees. What would be the measure of angle EFD? EFK, this whole angle right there, is 62. EFD is that angle there. Since it's cut into two equal parts, it's cut in half. So that angle would be half of 62. It would be 31. All right, so we can do a lot of problems like that. I can change the numbers around. If you want to pay attention and listen, let me throw out some questions and see if you can get the answers. Let's say angle DFK is 25. What would angle EFK be? Well, in this case, DFK is this angle right here I said was 25. And then I asked you what EFK was, which is the larger angle. Well, it's going to be double the 25. So if DFK is 25, EFK would be 50. Yes. All right. Now, if you thought that was too easy, I don't know if anyone thought that, but if you did, let's try this one. All right. I'm going to draw first an obtuse angle. Remember, obtuse is greater than 90. Let's call this angle A, B, C. And I'm going to draw a bisector of that angle, B, D. D, not B, B, D. So BD bisects angle ABC. Now I'm going to draw another bisector. I'm going to draw this right here. That's BE. And I'm going to say BE bisects angle DBC. So, study that diagram, and one thing that helps is when you label things. So, BD bisects angle ABC. Here's ABC. That cuts it in half. So we have this half is equal to that half. And then we have BE bisects DBC. So that means this half equals that half. So if you think about what happened, is the first bisector BD cut the angle in half, and then the second bisector took that half angle and cut it in half again. So we took half of a half, so to speak. Now, what if angle, might require some thinking here. I'm going to tell you that angle EBC equals 22 degrees. And I'm going to ask you to find the measure of angle ABE. All right, so let's investigate this problem. Now, sometimes in geometry, you can't find the answer directly. You have to take steps. So, what are we given? Given means what were we first told? We have the bisectors, and then a bisector of a half angle, and we're told EBC is 22. So I'm going to put right here 22. That's angle EBC. Well, what do I know? Do I know any other angles right off the bat? Well, since these two angles that are marked in green are equal, because it's a bisector cut into two equal parts, I know that this angle here is also 22. Well, as we know, we can add angles together. So this 22 and 22 makes this angle right here, this red one, that angle is 44. Okay? Now, our original bisector BD cut the two angles in half, so if that's 44, this is also 44. Now, can we find out what angle ABE is? ABE is the angle that goes from here, A, to E. So it's this angle right there. Now, what would I do to get that angle? Well, do we have the pieces to it? Yes, we do. We have this piece is 44, and we have this little piece is 22. So if we want to put them together, 44 and 22 would give us 66 degrees. Okay? If you have questions, you know how to reach me. Private comment or email. I want to do one more like this. So I'm going to redraw the diagram. You know, if I was in class on the smartboard, I would erase the numbers and redo it, but we're old school here with paper and marker. So I have an obtuse angle. And we can call it anything, it doesn't matter. FDR. And if we take that obtuse angle and bisect it, we get two acute angles, FDR, K. So DK bisects FDR. Let me write that down. DK, ray DK bisects angle FDR. And what do? We bisect it again. Let's call that L. So let's say DL bisects angle KDR. So if you look at the diagram, study the diagram, you'll see it's the same concept of the one we just did. I've just changed the letters. Now, this time I'm going to give you the measure of angle FDL. Is equal to 63 degrees. Find the measure of LDR. I wonder if any of you can figure that one out on your own. So why don't you give that a try, pause the video, and see if you can do it. Okay, if you've unpaused the video and you thought about it, you may realize it's the same type of problem we just did, except reverse. So here we're given angle FDL. FDL is this angle right here, and that measures 63 degrees. And we're trying to find LDR, which is this angle right here. Now, if we thought about the fact that we're taking half of an angle, and then cutting it at a half again, if we draw that line right there, this red angle would be 3/4 of the whole angle, 3 parts out of 4. So, how could we find out the missing part? Well, if the 63 is the 3 parts, which is the half and 1 more quarter, 63 divided by 3 is 21. So each part is 21, so this angle down here would be 21 also. Okay? All right. That's it for bisecting an angle, and there will be an assignment that goes with this. So best of luck to you.